Hello and welcome to Modern Broadcast. So it has been a couple weeks now where I've been gone. There's a couple videos where I haven't been able to do what I normally do here, where we answer your questions. So that's what we're doing today. So thanks so much for bearing with me. I had quite a few things happening, a lot of life updates going on, just a lot going on. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's get started with answering these questions to the best of our ability. We have 3 weeks worth of questions or comments to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. Spaghetti7259 says, when you get the Discord code to work, could you send it to me pretty please? This is on that bad USB Flipper Zero video, and unfortunately I have not gotten that to work, and even if I did get it to work, I couldn't send it to you. That was a fun little project I was working on with a buddy of mine, and there's no way you could use that for good, so no, I'm sorry. Up next we have Vague Rant says, Miniso is kind of a knockoff store. There is a similar chain operated out of Japan called Daiso, which is a dollar store type thing. Miniso is the Chinese knockoff of Daiso right now, right down to their logo being in Japanese, because people are more open to cheap goods that they think came from Japan. That just sounds like smart marketing. But this is on that Famicom clone handheld that I came across when I went back home to Iowa and visited with some family, with some friends just recently. So, Vague Rant, thank you so much for the Vague Rant of a comment. I mean all that in good fun, seriously. I did not know all that, so I just thought it was a neat little kind of bizarro knockoff, not knockoff store, and I guess that's because it was a knockoff, not knockoff. How many knockoffs was that? Anyways, thank you so much for the informed comment. So this is a retro blast to the past. This is when Modern Broadcast was still a flat screen TV wearing an orange dress shirt with a green scarf for whatever reason. This is like one of the way early videos that I did. But this comment is from, I'm gonna mess it up, a video. I believe it's Spanish, but they say super video, and translated that just translates to great video. So thank you so much. This was the comparison video that I did on the Retro 2 versus the Retro Blaster 2.0, which now there's even a newer Retro Blaster. I don't have my hands on it, but I've been thinking about picking one up to maybe make some carts, maybe? And I don't want to say anything to get everyone's hopes up, but a GB Studio video is in the works, maybe? Maybe? Well, thank you so much. It's always nice to receive those type of comments, just, saying great video, thanks. This helped out a lot. I always appreciate that. Thank you so much. This is from the Carry Shot 6411. They say, again, on the Famicom Iowa video, they say, has the same music as all the others, but the menus look a bit different, more aquatic this time. So the background of that Famicom, this underwater themes for whatever reason, and just really loud, obnoxious music in the background. Whatever, $30, you could buy a couple hours of entertainment and it'd be great for the kiddos. So they must know their Famicom clones if they're able to compare it, that it's the same music as all the others. This comes from Ultimate Vitar. I'm not sure. Again, I butcher everyone's name at least once when doing these videos, so I apologize, but this is on the Flipper Zero Wi-Fi Marauder tutorial video. This is, again, my most watched video and often kind of keeps getting revisited, but says, dude, thank you. And when I get those comments like that just say, thank you, or dude, thank you. In this case, I always think of, what is that, Mastermind, where he's like, no, thank you, citizen. Like every single time. Just gonna go ahead and just click on the glad to help. Have a great week. Dark Death Rider TV comments on the last Video Games Monthly unboxing that their superpower would be telekinesis, to have mind control over people and know what is on their mind and change their mind at will. Would be cool, I think. Great video. That is a terrifying superpower, as that kind of takes away free will at some point, doesn't it? If you're able to manipulate the thoughts and minds of those around you. But thank you so much for sharing that. That enters you into the giveaway. Real quick, this video is coming out tomorrow morning, so I always do this the night before the video comes out, and that's kind of why I ran out of time a little bit for the last couple of weeks. But to be entered in to the giveaway of that video, just give it a watch and comment your favorite superpower and why in the comment section to enter in the giveaway. We will be doing another Video Games Monthly unboxing here shortly, so thanks so much for sharing. So Will McKeever 1210 in the Legion Go video, Does Size Really Matter, asks, did anyone ever work out what the second cutout under the device in the case is for at the 348? Let's take a watch, shall we? Well, my video is deciding not to work at all, so, but I can see snippet here, the little screenshot. So the screenshot, but that cutout is actually for the right, not Joy-Con, to be a handheld mouse, but it's vertical. It's weird. It feels weird. Is it doable? Yeah, it's doable. Is it comfy? God, no. Absolutely not. So I don't recommend that, but you can use it as a mouse, as such, as a vertical mouse. CompuScience Python Prog XP's, long name, comments on the Flipper Zero Wi-Fi dev board tutorial again. Thank you. I have my new dev board all set up. You were my last hope, Obi-Wan. When I tried looking, you practically held my hand. Yay. I have a dev board for my Flipper Zero I had for almost a year now. I have never used it much because without things like these dev boards, you can't really do anything but play bank card watcher on your own stuff. Tamagotchi fish is all Flipper is until you feed it dev boards. I got it yesterday and learned a lot from you how to make it work. I'm watching the work you showed and my work screen at the same time and watching the rolling codes on my machine. Thank you for much needed help. Thank you. I subbed you as well for grand help, and you have here. Great works on teaching us all. I got to do this with all your help, 100%. That's awesome. Thank you for such a involved comment. Happy that it was of help and that you were able to get your dev board up and running after almost a year. That is fantastic. So all I can say is just be responsible out there with it and keep trying things, learning things, and I was going to say poking things, but I don't think I'd recommend that. I'd say just keep learning new things as you go. So thank you so much for the detailed comment. Afto YouTube comments on the Video Games Monthly box. Their favorite superpower is teleportation. I can avoid traffic, and when I'm bored, go to peaceful places like the beach or Sweden. That is awesome. I love that as a superpower. Personally, mine is telekinesis, and that is simply due to being able to move things like a Jedi. I think would be really cool. I'm a big dweeb, whatever. Don't judge. And I think it's also kind of a crutch where I could pick myself up and then fly, right? I think that's kind of, I don't know, maybe cheating, but that's mine personally. But teleportation is such a neat superpower. Just all the Kurt Wagners out there and Nightcrawlers. So cool. Roberto CJ comments on the exploring off-grid communication. So this was those little LoRa communication devices that you don't need. You can use your cell phone without having cell service. And my wife and I, we were having a family trip up in the mountains and we were at a cabin and I took both of them. They're kind of like walkie-talkies without the talkie. And basically you connect your phone to them and then you're allowed to text back and forth, and it's completely off the grid. So it's not going through the cell towers, but what it is using is RF radio frequencies. So it very much like the walkie-talkies, but in a text format. It was pretty neat. We were able to get them to work for quite a while. We have the extended 915 megahertz antennas, so that definitely helped. And then got pretty deep up there in the woods and was able to make contact back at the cabin, which was pretty neat. So interesting device, and there's some nice nature shots in there, so if that's your thing, give it a watch. But Roberto, the STL files for that case, I could probably find you some. I had actually purchased them, so I actually didn't print them myself, but I could probably find some and locate a couple and send them your way. So I'll do that after this video. Vodka 8903 on the Booster Flipper Zero's range with the C1101 chip. The video says the kitchen sink link is dead. I believe that kind of keeps happening with Flipper Zero links. I've kind of stopped posting Flipper Zero links other than for the official website, just because all these different links just keep dying and dying and dying left and right. So I would do a simple search on the Moogle, and yes, I know I said Moogle, and give that a shot, and hopefully that gets you sorted in the right place. Tanya says over here on the Exploring the $40 Game Stick Lite, this was an interesting little device that we had picked up, again, about $40, where it's just an HDMI. Plug it into your TV, has 2 controllers already paired with it, very cheaply made, mind you. And this video kind of gets a lot of ups and downs where it either works for users or it doesn't. I mean, the device is not quality product at all. I think I say that even in the video several times. It's not a quality product. It's cheaply made. They're just cranking them out, and it might work, it might not, who knows. So if it does work, it's really neat. But Tanya over here says, I got this and my TV said mode not supported. This is common. So that a stick, even though it says that it's a 4K stick, it's not. It's a 720 stick. And some TVs really don't like certain 720 modes. I'm not, believe it or not, being a TV head, I'm not a TV guy. So I don't know all the different, for a while there was like 720i, 720p. With this, either your stick is faulty to begin with, or your TV doesn't like the frequency at which the video is being output, whether that's, 60 frames a second, 50, whatever have you. Basically, whatever model TV you have, it's just not liking it for whatever reason. I would recommend plugging into another TV, see if it works there. Otherwise, I would return the product. Again, they're not quality products. So I wish you the best of luck. Sorry. Derek here on the Transform Your ROG Ally customizing or installing a custom OS says that my G-Parted is hanging at the no warranty prompt after trying to boot up. Were there any special settings you did while booting it? No, there were not. This was a slow process for me. It took about 15-ish minutes when kind of going through everything. The G-Parted was fairly quick, if I remember correctly, when doing this video. But I do know there was a black screen for quite a while, if that's where you're at. Give it some time, try again if needed, but hopefully it'll boot up and you get that going. Jedion on the GB Operator unboxing. Such a cool little device. I actually have that sitting right on top of my desktop, like daily. Anyways, says, I bought this a few weeks ago and it's super cool. My biggest gripe is that it 100% does not effectively detect counterfeit repo carts. I put in obviously fake Pokemon Sapphire into it and it registers as genuine. I assure you, it is not. Other than that, it has features and potential I have yet to toy with, but it's absolutely rad. Yeah, no, I love my GB Operator. That's true. If you have a fake, and I think I tested that maybe even in that video, I have a fake Pokemon Ruby, and then I have the genuine article Ruby as well. And I plugged it in and it was still like, yeah, this is Ruby. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. Other than that, it's really cool. I love using it for the GB camera. I'll take pictures with my camera and then plug them into the GB Operator and get the pictures off the GB camera. That's a lot of GB camera. So anyways, very cool. M Witters1 says a comment here on the new Polymega controller. So for those of you that don't know, the Polymega is this module console-ish thing. It uses emulation. It was not a good launch. It's been rocky ever since. But essentially, they came out with a version 2 of the controller, which I do think is better than the original overall. But that is a big USB flash stick that is the controller pair that pairs with the controller. But with all that said, my biggest gripe about the Polymega is that their lack of support for third-party controllers other than with Retrobit, which I have the Sega Genesis controller of the Retrobit, and I'm sorry Retrobit, but I cannot stand your controller. It is not good. But M Witters1 says Retrobit is trash. Their wireless Saturn controllers are the cheapest pieces of garbage I have ever had the misfortune of buying. What the heck were they thinking putting micro USB into a controller in 2024? Insane. How many corners can you cut? Won't be touching this. Then right underneath that, we have someone else that actually responded. It says, I wish I could disagree with such an aggressive comment, but you're right. Bought a Sega Saturn styled controller from them once. It felt so cheap and broke in 2 months. Again, it was an aggressive comment. Yes, absolutely. It's an aggressive comment, but it is a factual comment that they are cheaply made, in my opinion, as well. They rattle, they shake, you can feel everything kind of move inside. And I did not enjoy my Sega Genesis controller. W to Hit on the bad USB video says, if I open any bad USB script from that site, it just opens PowerShell, shows some red text, and closes it instantly. So I can't even read what's the error. Please help. Do not do that is the very first thing I'd recommend. Don't download something from the internet and then just run it on your computer, especially when it's running PowerShell. That is a huge no-no. Always open it with either TextBox or Notepad++ and read what the code is first. Don't download, again, from the internet and then just run it on your computer. You have no idea what you're downloading. It could say that it's something that's going to give you $1,000, and really what it's doing is it's stealing $2 from you. So that's my first suggestion, is don't do that. In order to read what the error is, what's happening, again, open in Notepad++ and read through the script and see what it's trying to do. And hopefully that will help you. Florian5556 on the FZ Ducky script tutorial says, thank you, you really helped me. That's awesome. Ducky script is weird. It was fun to kind of mess around. I've made a few scripts with Ducky script now for my Flipper Zero, which admittedly I have not used in a couple months. I need to charge it up. I'm sure my Flipper is very, very upsetty with me. But I'm glad the video was able to help and able to get that taken care of for you. Mr. Bolgren Garen? Anyways, I'm sorry. I butchered that. 674 on, again, the $40 GameStick Lite says, how can I save a game? I would use the save feature within the game itself. Otherwise, I believe you can hit the menu button and go down to save state. I think each file allows for 1 to 2 save states. I don't know how well it's going to keep those. Again, they are cheap devices, so you might want to just use the actual save feature of said game, whatever you're playing. ZR Kraken on the Flipper Shell replacement, which was sponsored by PCBWay, says opens wallet for a new e-screwdriver. That e-screwdriver is amazing. Let me just say, I use it not daily, but I would say at least 4 times a week. I am taking something apart, and it's so handy to have all those little bits all nestled together in a nice metal container. So it's worth the investment. It's definitely worth the investment. Blake Shermetto on the installing S2 to Vita on the Sony PlayStation and TV. So this actually video was made in 2023, and so I believe that it's all still pretty much the same there. But I might have to do some refreshing because, you know, Viva La Vita, but I don't use it. So this worked on my Vita TV, but the UMAO is detecting my internal 1 GB memory. How do I use a 4 GB Vita memory card as the UMAO? So when you are inside that, I forget what the file browser thing, you are able to switch which is going to be the UMAO, and it's like the UMAX, I think is the opposite. Look through that, hit the triangle button to get to those settings, and then you should be able to swap those out. So best of luck to you. Hopefully you got that sorted out. This was 2 weeks ago. Again, I'm so sorry that it's taken so long to get to all these comments. Smuler over here on the Flipper Zero dev board, again, the Marauder firmware, says that when I scan, it doesn't say anything on the scan. So this is going to come down to firmware, most likely. It's not an exact science. I have no idea. It works for some people. It doesn't for others. There is a whole entire factory of why it's working for some and not others. So my guess is that it's a firmware issue, and that's why it will not actually show anything on the scan. So I recommend going to the Flipper One website, find one that is compatible with the firmware that you're using on your Flipper Zero, and maybe update the firmware on both. Update the firmware on the Flipper Zero along with your dev board, as this video is quite old at this time. Noah here, again on the Marauder update, says, didn't work on my own Wi-Fi, was looking on my cell phone and never got disconnected. Any ideas? So the Marauder, I ran into this with my cell phone as well. The cell phone had a way to bypass this where I couldn't disconnect my phone, but like my TVs got disconnected, my laptop got disconnected of all things. And I think it had something to do with that the Marauder only works on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, not on the 5 gigahertz frequency. So the phones are primarily using that 5 gigahertz frequency to have a more stronger connection. And I could be talking out my ass here, but that I'm pretty sure is the kind of consensus that I kind of came to. But I'm just an average Joe and I have no idea what I'm doing either in these videos, just so everyone knows. I'm not an expert in any way. I didn't go to school for programming. I didn't go to school for tech and whatnot. This is just a passion of mine. So I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section down below and let me know kind of why that might be, if anyone knows the answer. Buys, bees. Yankee buys or bees. I'm not sure which one that is, but the $40 GameStick Lite, popular video, I suppose, is they say that I bought one, the SD card says 64 gigabytes like yours, but when I tried to clone it, the true capacity was only 14 gigabytes. I still can't believe that these sellers are still selling fake capacity drives. Yeah, be careful of that. Kevin on the updated Wi-Fi Marauder video says New York. Oh, it's my. That's supposed to be an M. Okay. Says my Flipper says no cord partition found. ESP-IDF version is 4.45. Failed to mount SD card not at. Oh my God. Card not supported. I'm using the dev board by Flipper Zero. Can you help? Ooh, maybe. This sounds SD card not supported. I would have to do some research before I answer this comment and see what exactly this is. If there's an answer out there, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to search Google. So if you happen to watch this video, I would search Google too, and hopefully I can get back to you maybe by next week and get this answered for you, because right now I have no clue what that means. West61 says, when I try to de-auth my Wi-Fi, it says you don't have any targets selected. I can't figure out how to add it. So when you are doing the Wi-Fi Marauder, the way to do so is basically you have to do the scan, you go down, push the OK button. There will be a little star asterisk that would be next to the Wi-Fi you select. That's an important step. Make sure to do that. And then you can verify that's happened. When you go back in there, you'll see that asterisk is next to it, meaning that's the option that you selected. So best of luck. Nothing nefarious. Have fun out there. Methius, who's actually the game developer of Zephyr, A Thief's Melody, which is a Steam game. It's kind of this almost PS2-esque RPG game. But Methius and I had an interview together, so that was an amazing video, just being able to talk to a game dev and their experience with making their game, which has been in development for 11 years. So if you are interested in game development and you're interested in kind of what journey that looks like, go ahead and check out that video. I'll have a link down in the description below. But it was so awesome to talk with. They say, thank you so much for the interview. It was a pleasure talking with you. No, kind sir, it was great talking with you. Take it easy, and I wish you the best of luck on your game. Build new skills, on the Wi-Fi Marauder video. It says not working. It is working. It's most likely a firmware issue. So they say that it's not working. It's most likely a firmware issue where your firmware is either not compatible with that video or it's outdated. So I recommend updating firmware. That just seems to be the big talk. Rick Salsa 3628 on the bad USB to Bluetooth. So I found out that you can connect bad USB via Bluetooth connection. That was pretty cool. They say you edit with DaVinci Resolve, right? Yes, that is correct. By the way, great video, because I'm buying a Flipper Zero soon and don't want to be the kind of guy that buys something and doesn't know how to use it. That's what I do. I know about firmware from other YouTubers, but you are by far the best. Keep it up. Rick, thank you so much for the kind words. That is way too kind. I literally, when I buy something, or especially when it comes to tech and hacking and programming, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going through the motions pretty much live with you guys when I upload those videos. So just something fun. But I hope you enjoy your Flipper Zero. Be responsible out there with it. And yeah, enjoy. Just test things. Play with it. See what happens. Ubi Rahman comments on that comment saying, I think he does because you can see it in the desktop. Yes, that is correct. I do have it on my desktop. I am in DaVinci Resolve. almost daily editing some form of something, whether that's thank yous when someone makes a purchase on the modernbroadcast.tv website. Speaking of which, little plug there. Or whether I'm editing these videos, talking to all of you, or doing gameplay stuff. But I mainly have Russ for that now. Thanks so much, Russ. I'm sure you've seen this video now. Russ is our editor for the Modern Replay, where we do gameplay videos and whatnot. So thank you. As always, Joey Extreme, the updated Wi-Fi Marauder, which is way easier than the original one, just FYI, for those of you who are having trouble. Thank you so much, Heart. No, thank you, Citizen. I already used that joke earlier. Anyways, no, thank you, seriously. Without, you guys commenting, without you guys watching, there would be no point in doing this. I enjoy making videos, even though I don't know what I'm talking about half the time and I'm just rambling. You should hear all the cutouts and all the edits that I have to make when trying to record a simple line sentence. But no, seriously, thank you guys so much. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is insane. Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling. This commenter, I'm so sorry. Nagapatha, maybe? 5445. I butchered the crap out of your name. I'm so sorry. On the Transform Your ROG Ally installing custom OS. At the 727 in the step, I don't have any keyboard, any solution. Already my USB occupied Type-C port. Yeah, so that is the biggest downfall of the ROG Ally, in my opinion, is you need a dock in order to do this, to have a keyboard set up and whatnot along with it. My recommendation is to pick up a Type-C dock where you can plug in multiple USBs. That's going to be the easiest method. Also, let's check the step real quick. I think I know what spot it's at. Why is this not loading still? I don't know why I can't get my YouTube not to load, but it looks like you are at the part on the blue screen where it's asking, and you need a keyboard, especially, you might be able to tap the screen, maybe. Honestly, the biggest bet is just get a USB Type-C port so you have multiple USBs and you can plug in a keyboard. It makes the process way easier. That way you're not trying to click on such very small text and find buttons. Kustagrass says on the GB Studio turn-based combat tutorial that GB Studio needs a way where you can bundle scenes together in their own method loop. Machine code has that built in. There is just nothing the engine does to alleviate that. That would be really cool. Yeah, that would be great to have. That might be a feature coming up, maybe, or it should be recommended. That should be a feature recommended. Boom on the Flipper Zero Evil Portal tutorial video says that it says the app is outdated. Any tips? Yes, the tip is to probably go to the Flipper Zero App Store, find the updated .fap file for download, and that's also compatible with your firmware, and then you should be good to go. Hopefully that works for you. Rebel Cause on the GameStick Lite says, can you do a video showing all of the PS1 games, please? Yes, I can. I will do that, and I'll put that on the Modern Replay channel, and I will showcase that. Julian on the Unboxing Video Games Monthly Box video says, no way. Oh, I don't know what to say other than way. So I think that's all I'm going to respond with. Just way. There we go. Joshua Pheasant 2510 on the Wi-Fi Marauder says, did that Wi-Fi say Cherokee? Are you from the res? I'm not from the res. No, I'm from Iowa. And then I moved to Wisconsin for a short while. And then I moved now out here to Colorado. Diamond 2005 on the Wi-Fi Marauder video says, zip password please. And right below that, there's a commenter that says, the zip doesn't have a password. What did you download? Same. Yep. The zip doesn't have a password. I have no idea what you downloaded. Zero clue what you downloaded. I even off camera went and took a look to see what you possibly could have downloaded, and I have no idea. There we have it. That is it for this long week's video of comments. Again, getting caught up for the last 3 weeks. Thank you guys so much for writing comments in the videos. I know I'm a little delayed in getting those back to you and responding. My goal is to get back on track with doing this once a week on Thursdays, releasing your questions, just having a little powwow between you and me. And thanks so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comment section. Is this helpful? Is this something that you guys want to kind of keep seeing, or should we do away with this? Let me know. Be sure to check out modernbroadcast.tv. We have some merch available. We have some holiday stuff coming up, so it helps the channel out, helps me out, and yeah, have a great week, everyone, and take care.